I mean, great match out there, but obviously not the result you were looking for. Just give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I had my chances for sure. I definitely feel like good looks in those points at in the tiebreaker to force a fifth. I felt like, obviously, in hindsight, can say all the things I should have done on those points, but realistically, yeah, I mean, I should have been able to get one of them, force a fifth, and then whatever happens in the fifth happens in the fifth. But I thought that I played a good match. A couple hiccups. I mean, first game of the match, and then in the third set, but the second and the fourth, I definitely did exactly what I set out to do and play how I was trying, how I wanted to play, and I thought Carlos served exceptionally well today as well.
Liam?
Do you think there was anything specifically tactically that you could have changed to help the outcome of the match go your way?
The thing is, a lot of the things that I would have changed, I think would have only helped me for a point or two, and then I think Carlos would have just made an adjustment, and I don't think it would have been a long-term answer. I think I was not returning his first serve well at all, and part of that is because I thought he served really well, like very well, and part of that is also because I know that I can't just like make the return because he'll just drill the ball open court and then I'll lose the point. So, part of me not returning great is how well he's serving, and then how I know that I need to hit a good return if I want to be able to win the point. There's not much point in me blocking a return back and just losing the point anyway. So I could have maybe like chipped a bit. But I think, like I said, I think that only works for a point or two. And then I think he starts serving volleying me, and he's incredibly comfortable doing that. So I think the long-term thing I could have done was just do what I was doing, but just return better. And return more aggressively. I think that's something I need to get a lot better at, is returning aggressively. I think I returned to put balls in the court, which is great for me against most people because I can neutralize points, but against, maybe him and Yannick might be the only guys, if the return isn't good, their +1 is very dangerous.
Catherine?
Hi, Taylor. Obviously, Carlos has this crazy good 5-set record. Presumably, the locker room is very aware of that.
I didn't know about that. I guess, I mean, if I would have won one of those points, it would have been good that I didn't know about that.
Ben?
Just after having the set point in the fourth set, just leaving court, do you feel closer to getting over the hurdle of Alcaraz not even throw center in there too, these two guys, or do you feel further in some ways after that matchup? What's your that kind of evaluation that you're doing now?
I mean, here's how I look at it. Like the first set I came out and I just played a bad first game and put myself down a break instantly. And unfortunately, that's what I've done the last 2 times I played Carlos, just come out and instantly put myself down a break. So that's never good. So, and like I said, a lot of like watch Carlos plenty. For me, I feel like that's the best I've seen him serve. So tough. Like I'm not going to get a look to break him back. First set, done. Second set, did exactly what I wanted to do. Fourth set, did exactly what I wanted to do. So the 2 sets that I played to the level that I, want to be playing at, I'm right there. And yeah, like I said, played really well in the second and the fourth, lost the fourth, but it's there. I just need to, avoid playing the times where the level dips a bit, and then he can grab a break and just get ahead of me. And I think, to be fair, I think on grass is probably, even though he's such an incredible grass court player, it's probably fast is my best opportunity with Carlos. I think once the court gets slow to where I can't hurt him, it's going to be really tough, because regardless of how slow the court is, I think he's always going to be able to hurt me, and I need the court fast enough to at least where I can level the field by being able to hurt him. So I think when we played at Laver Cup, I think that was a big issue, because court was incredibly slow. I felt like I could not get him out of position, but he has so much raw power, and I don't move like he does, so he can hurt me. So to be honest, I think faster is good for me, but yeah, given the conditions today, it was, yeah. I mean, I'm a point away from forcing a fifth. Anything can happen if I serve well.
David?
Hi there, Taylor. Ben Shelton was in here after his match against Yannick a couple of days ago, saying that it's almost like playing somebody who's playing at 2 times speed at times. I just want to, you've now faced them both in big Grand Slam matches in the last year. Can you compare the experience? Is one more difficult than the other for you?
I'd say for me, it's just different. It's different conditions. I felt pretty comfortable from the ground with Yannick when we played in Turin. I think Yannick typically has a bigger serve, so it's tougher to get in on his return games. But for me, from the ground, I think I had more success rallying and playing with Yannick because he plays a bit flatter, and it's a little bit more predictable. He's unbelievable at what he does playing from the baseline. I think Carlos is a little more unpredictable with the slicing and the coming to net and the drop shots. Carlos has a lot of different ways to play, and I also think Carlos, one thing he does is when he whips his forehand cross, there's a lot of movement away, which is difficult. Yannick's is more through the court, which for some people depends on who you're playing. For me personally, I'd rather probably deal with the flat one than the ball that's working away from me. But they both generate a lot of just like raw power. But I think for me, it's a little more uncomfortable to play Carlos just because of the unpredictability of what he's going to do. I think I play a lot off of anticipation, and it's a little, you never know what, Carlos might just hit like a short kicker and serve and volley on like a 15-30 or something like that, which I feel like if I'm playing Yannick, something like that's probably not going to happen.
Charlie?
Taylor, I just wondered as well how difficult and how different it is mentally when you're playing Carlos compared to playing the other guys. Like, like you said, you can try something, but he's just going to adapt. Like, how kind of exhausting is that?
Yeah, it's like I just said, he has so many different ways to win, and he's very good at making adjustments. He made a huge adjustment after the second set. I felt like the second set I was like having a lot. I don't know what the actual stats were. I felt like I was having a lot of success on his second serve points. I felt like if he missed a first serve, I was applying a lot of pressure, winning a lot of points, and then even though he was mixing it up quite well, I thought that's one of the things I was the happiest with what I was doing on the court. And then third set, fourth set, he'd randomly be hitting 122, 23 mile an hour second serves, and then at the same time hitting like 85 mile an hour short kickers. So it's like when someone's serving that much variety on a second serve, it's really tough to get on it and be aggressive. And that was a great, adjustment that he made in that match. Was just, and it's risky. He's going to maybe double fault a bit more, but he starts serving, almost 2 first serves to me sometimes. It's a good adjustment, and he has lots of different things that he can do, and that's what's tough about playing him. He makes adjustments, and he has lots of different ways he can win. So he, a lot of times I know an adjustment that I need to make, but maybe that's just not my game, so it's not the best thing to do. But he can kind of do a bit of everything, so, and he's good at it, so he can always change it up to match, I guess, what you're doing.
Willie?
With what you did at the U.S. Open last year and the way you've been playing lately, what's your outlook right now ahead?
Every time I play these guys, it's, I learn a lot about what I need to do to improve and get better. So moving ahead, I just want to keep working on the things that are gonna get me better, that are gonna help me compete with these guys, because at the end of the day, my ultimate goal is to win a slam, and I think I'm gonna have to at some point beat these guys to do it. So it's obviously a tough ask, but like I said, I keep putting myself in these situations and playing them. I learn more about my game and what I need to do differently and what I need to do better to get to that level. So it's just, stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. I've been dealing with, a lot of injuries this year, but stay healthy and just keep trying to improve like I've been for a couple years now.
Hi Taylor. Carlos has been really complimentary about his opponents. Did you exchange words at the end with him, and do you think he's one of the more humble opponents that you've played against?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I get along very well with Carlos. I think Carlos is such a incredibly nice guy. I really like Carlos a lot. And and then he just said, like, you know, great match, good level. It was a good match. And, you know, I said, you know, congrats to you, well, too good. And, you know, best of luck moving forward. Just kind of, I mean, pretty standard, but, you know, he, you know, acknowledged that it was, you know, it was a good match. It was a pretty solid level being played. And yeah, I don't know. I think, pretty standard stuff, but I mean, I will say, you know, we get along quite well.
Bill?
Good run. Carlos has so many great qualities, but if you could just narrow it down to, say, 2 or 3 of the great qualities that make him so special.
I mean, I'm really impressed with, like I said before, just his ability to win so many different ways, play so many different type of styles. I'm incredibly impressed with how good his touch is around the net, like pressure points, big points. He's making, you know, just like serve and volley, like little touch volleys look like, you know, looks like he's never going to miss it. Like he can do it all day. And it's not easy to hit those kind of delicate shots under pressure. That's really impressive. And then, I don't know. I mean, he just does everything so well. I think for a long time people said, you know, his serve was one of the weaker parts of his game. There's zero weakness with his serve. The way he's serving today, there's, you know, he's hitting all the spots. He's serving the same serve speeds as me throughout the entire match. Like he's, you know, really impressed with how much he's improved his serve.
Okay, last one, Ben?
I want to ask, obviously, Brian, the Sinner's up 2-0 as of right now. So I'm just curious, having just played Alcaraz and knowing Sinner, how do you see their match on Sunday going, if it is them?
Really tough for me to say with it just being on grass. I think if that is the final, then people are in for an amazing final. I think Sinner's obviously super hungry after the French Open, and Carlos going for the 3 in a row is, I mean, you know, that's obviously a lot of motivation and it's a big deal. And yeah, I don't know. I think they bring out the best in each other, and it's going to come down to just like the big moments. It's so tough to call it.